everyone, and thanks again for joining us here at Pax Lux Mundi, where we bring you amazing people from around the world. And today with us, we have a very special guest, Cristiana Eltrayan from Romania, who is going to be participating as a speaker during the 7th World Conference on Peace and Light on the days of the 18th, 19th, and 20th of June. Hello, Cristiana, and thank you so much for being here with us.
Hello, I'm really happy. And now as you were speaking, I just realized that your event is actually in the spring or before the summer solstice. So we're really powerful that we're gonna meet there in
I
that.
know.
I'm really happy for that.
Yes, I'm very excited too, and it's going to be a wonderful event. It always is. But yes, I agree. There is some type of special energy right around the summer solstice. So it's wonderful.
Absolutely, we are
Yes.
helped.
Yes, yes, it will. So I'm going
Mhm.
to introduce Christiana for those of you that may not know her. So she works as a therapist, an international holistic speaker, and author. Additionally, she often travels for opening and maintaining energy portals along the planet, following the planetary energy lines and also the cosmic rhythms. Her workshops focus on energetic nourishment, the Taoist emotional intelligence, and pranic methods of healing and recalibration converging to the consciousness of unity. Well, thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you. I am so pleased. I've been with you 2 times before during our event. So is this your third time with us?
It might be the third or the fourth, but for me, time, is really weird, and I cannot tell for sure. Because I,
Yes.
I keep time like a continuous present and not necessarily before and after. So it might be the seventh as well, because there are some in the so-called future, so we don't know.
That's right. That's right. We
Mhm.
we time is not linear, so you're correct.
Mhm.
Wonderful. So, Christiana, tell us what inspired you to do your research around the topic on how food influences thoughts?
Well, I've noticed it on myself, because I had a lot of uh, time to research it within myself how my state was changing according to what I was eating. Since I was a child, I didn't really like to eat meat, and I wasn't feeling comfortable with heavy foods. And my digestive system has always been really sensitive, because the those of us who are coming to bring new systems of nourishment on earth, we tend to get more sensitive digestive systems. And I'm appealing to everyone listening now. We tend to have more sensitive digestive systems because we're actually not meant to have the same junk food that the whole planet is having. We're meant to bring the new, more harmonious fuel or food system and maintain it. And that's how we kind of perceive more accurately any imbalance in our food intake. So my mood was literally reacting to the foods that weren't so great for me, and
Mhm.
I was getting cranky or agitated or even brain fogged, you could say. And I'm trusting that many of you are experiencing that with certain groups of foods or with certain foods in general. So I've noticed over time that what worked for me was a very light food. So I moved from omnivorous to vegetarianism, then to veganism. Then I'm using more and more raw food. And my favorite now is liquid food, the soups and the smoothies and the juices, which is
Yeah.
very small quantities during the day, and pranic nourishment, which is source nourishment or energy nourishment in the rest of the day. So that's what my body prefers. And I've noticed that when I'm in that state, I'm really uh, sharp minded, clear minded. I can do various tasks at the same time. So I'm good with multitasking. as you know. And I can stay in a great mood, so I'm really really happy regardless of what happens around me and how cranky the people around me are. On the opposite, if I was having heavy food or just solid food that isn't right for my body, like, if I tried to have dairy, for example, I'll get really really sad. So the feeling of sadness, the feeling of being misplaced, even not depression in my case, but a
Mm.
feeling of feeling that I'm not right in the world would appear because when my body was not vibrating at the right frequency in those moments, right? Because the
Yeah.
fuel that I had put in my body was not okay for my body. And there was a discrepancy between my soul's frequency and my whole energy frequency, which tends to vibrate quite highly, and the frequency of my physical vessel. So this
Mm.
discrepancy would create a bad mood
Okay.
and a state of mind which was one unclear, not so determined, the tendency to procrastinate things and so on. There's a peer, right? And you
Mhm.
all know it probably. And you
Yeah.
think it's just, you need to get more self-confidence and this and that. No, you first need to change your diet. That's the first step. The lighter you go, the more aligned you are with the rhythm with your oversoul and your energy field, which tends to vibrate at a much higher pace nowadays
Mhm.
than our physical body. So now our physical body needs to be aligned with our highest frequency. That's why we
That's
need to
right.
change their fuel. That's how I
That's
noticed. And then I've interviewed, hundreds of people, and I've worked in therapies one on one with hundreds or thousands of people. And I've also spoken in direct conferences with thousands of people. And that's how I've noticed, oh, there are others who are the same.
yes.
Yeah.
Right now you made me think when you were talking about dairy, and maybe this is not even related, but you made me think of the fact you said that when you eat dairy, you get sad. And it made me I had an image of, a baby calf being pulled away from its mother and the mother
Mhm.
missing that contact with that
Conferences
infant,
with
right?
thousands of people, and that's how I've noticed. Oh, there are others who are the same. There was an echo. Sorry. Yes,
It's okay.
yes, we can pick up the frequencies of the information in the food, which
Hmm.
might be the feeling of the animal having been killed in the case of meat products, or the frequency of the animal being, or separated from a sibling and so on, which is in the case of baby calves and
Yeah.
the mother cows who are giving us the milk. So everything goes in our system, and our system is decoding the information, right? And
Hmm.
so we might actually get the feelings of the or the emotions or the information of the foods that we are consuming. If they're coming from other beings, then for sure we're in some level interacting with those beings and taking over their states. That's why so much people in the world now are depressed or sad to the core because of the stuff, the information and the energy that they're putting in their bodies, right?
Right. That's right.
Because
Yes.
that's this translating directly into your state of mind and into your mood. It's
That's
not
right.
just the environment that's influencing your inner state. It's the very information that you put in your mouth and let come into your digestive system that's creating the first kick into your day, before
Hmm.
anything else, before you open your TV, before anything else. What you have drunk or eaten in the breakfast is gonna be your mood throughout the day. That's what
That's
I'm
right.
saying. Yeah.
Yes, and tell us, how can being more conscious of what I mean, I know you touched a little bit on it, but how, more specifically, how can being more conscious of what we eat help create a world of peace and light?
Well, that's a great question. And it's very linked to what we said before, because, to create a world of peace and light, we have to be peace and light. The world is made by us. The made is actually made with us. We are the world.
Mhm,
So if we are peace and light, the world is peace and light, because there's nothing else in the world. I mean, the animals are generally peaceful. The plants are really peaceful. The only beings who aren't peaceful on this planet are the humans, right?
mhm.
So
That's right.
for to have a world of peace of light, we need to be peace of light and light, us ourselves. And that helps us, of course, with the diet, because as we said, everything in our system is influenced by the food intake, right?
Mhm,
And if we intake foods that are heavy, or that are coming from animals that have been slaughtered, or have gone through a tough time, right? That's going to influence our mood, and that's not peace and light at all. That's going to come
yes,
out of us, right?
right.
While if we are keeping a light diet, a plant-based diet has been proven to be a natural antidepressant, and
Mhm,
a mood enhancer, and to boost serotonin and dopamine and all that stuff that is making us happy and peaceful and light.
mhm.
If you want to have a world of peace and light, start with a plant-based diet and continue maybe to more raw food, which is not so processed, and it's giving you the largest amount of energy. There are certain opinions that when you move from a processed food to a natural food, non-cooked, you get 10 times more energy, which is 10 times more light. And when you move from a non-processed natural food to a or processed food to a liquid food, you get 100 times more energy and 100 times more light, right?
Wow, I
So
didn't
you
know that.
increase the level of energy 100 times fold. So I think that's the answer, right? Before anything
Yes,
else, in order to have compassion, in order to have kindness, in order to have lightness and peace in our being, we have to address our diet in a way that is bringing more peace into our system.
right, right. I think it's essential. I do think, I remember from a past presentation that you did with us where you explained how there's so much more light coming in, so much more energy. And so people are not only nourishing themselves with what they're ingesting, but they are also nourishing themselves with the energy that's already here. And so then
Yeah.
you get people that can be, to a certain degree, a bit overweight, or there's an imbalance because they're eating
Mhm.
too much physical food, but they're already able to receive that energy that's coming, that pranic energy that exists in
Mhm.
our
Mhm.
environment. And
Yeah.
so I think, what could somebody, don't tell me a lot, because obviously you want to save this for your presentation, but what is something that somebody could do to start the process of eliminating things that are not healthy for them?
Meditate. That's the first step. It's great because then you tune into a higher frequency. And if you meditate daily and regularly, maybe twice a day, you keep that high frequency. And when you have a high frequency, you need less food naturally. And you become more in tune, you become more present. And when you are more present, you then naturally notice what's happening in your body, what's happening in your mood, how your mind shifts according to certain uh, groups of food or certain types of food intake. And then you, by noticing that in a state of presence, in a state of alignment, in a state of body mind connection, you are able to um, clearly reduce the amount of foods that is giving you bad moods, or eliminate them, because you're aware, okay, I have, by being present, by being fully connected with my body, I am now aware that drinking coffee is making my body agitated, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
by having that awareness, I naturally take off coffee from my diet.
Yes.
Just yeah, this is making me harm, so I'm no longer using it, right? Because I love myself. So meditation is the first step, and it's been proven. That's why probably India is the country with the biggest rate of vegetarians, because these guys really do meditate much more than
Yes.
all of us, right? So they're naturally kinder, they're naturally in tune, and notice that meat is not doing them very good, and therefore
Mhm.
most of them have taken it off their diets, right?
Yes.
Then you can practice some body awareness practices like yoga or qigong or meditative dance, which by putting your body into constant movement, or not constant but frequent, I mean daily, you then notice how your energy moves through your body. And you can naturally notice, for example, in yoga, that you're much stiffer with heavier food than when you had a detox. You can do better
Yes.
yoga, you're better at your flexibility and all that stuff when your body is detoxed, and where your body is a plant-based, is in a plant-based stage, or you have been fasting for a while. So you notice how your food is actually influencing your body, your joints, your ligaments, everything, your textures of your tissues. And you then make the connection and know that, this group of foods is no longer belonging in your diet. For example, meat and animal-based products, or
Mhm.
even cooked food for some people, right? So you connect with yourself by meditating, you connect with your body by doing some conscious body movement. Even running, if you're conscious of every step that you put on the ground, or swimming, or dancing, it can be a spiritual or a holistic type of movement. And you
Mhm.
connect with your body, and you get messages easier from your body. Make conscious love. That's
Yes.
also a good method. It's not even a method, it's a pleasure. And you get a lot of information from your body afterwards, because you're connected, you're deep into your core, you've connected with your lower parts of your body, and therefore you're able to perceive the body's messages with more clarity than when in the stage of, for example, maybe being a monk. I have nothing against monks, I love them, I'm just saying. So lovemaking can be a great conscious lovemaking can be
Mhm.
a great spiritual practice for awareness and for actually diminishing your food
Yes,
because
I
you no
agree.
longer need that much. So we now start a series of events called Prana and Tantra. We're starting on 19th of May, 19th and 20th of May, which are
Uh-huh.
going to explain the connection between food intake and the quality of our relationships, and not ultimately our lovemaking, because that's really tightly connected, right? You actually can have a better life and a more fulfilling love life when you have a lighter diet, and that's the truth. Yeah, so these three I would recommend: meditation as a base, as a foundation for every conscious choice;
Uh-huh.
getting in touch with your body through conscious movement, either yoga or qigong or dance or any practice where you're conscious of your body; and conscious lovemaking or tantra. These are the three things that I would recommend. And of course, follow
Wonderful.
our website and our classes. That's doing a great job into the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And with everything that's happening around the world during these times, do you feel that there's still a reason to keep hope alive?
I think that's the best reason to keep hope alive. That's the best moment. We need hope more than anything right now. And that's the first thing that we need to keep alive. And also understanding that, of course, this is a transition stage. It's not the final, destination of our journey. It looks messy now because any transformation has a messy time, but it's actually blooming into something greater and more beautiful, where people are going to be much more conscious along the way because of this transformation upheaval that is now taking place. So this is the main reason for hope. If it would be a flat line, nothing happening on the planet, then it would be no reason for hope. But since it's a transformational time, uh,
Yes.
when you do a detox, the first detox that you do, many people get pimples, right? Because
Yes.
things that, they come out of the skin. The planet is now detoxing. So when we're seeing these pimples, we know that after that, we're going to have a very light complexion. This is what's happening on the planet at the moment. She's preparing for a very light complexion. So let's be aware of that, and let's be joyful for that, and let's try to navigate this in the most gracious way. And changing our diet is the first step, because that's the alarm ringing now. It's not like a whisper, it's no longer a fine melody, it's like ringing the alarm. You have to have a better immune system and a more healthy body to survive through this. So
That's
get
right.
ready.
That's right. And you're correct on that. It's true. You do have to have a very healthy immune system and, healthy body in order to
Yeah.
get through this. So
These
you're
days
right.
is no longer optional. Yeah, like it's a survival thing. So, get on the saddle and take the detox seriously and put in the healthy nutrients and the healthy superfoods, and maybe include more liquid instead of solid food, and more smoothies instead of pizzas, and see where it's taking you, right? And if you need help, check out my books and the videos on the YouTube channel, which is the same name as my name, Cristiana Eltrayan. And there's huge amounts of information there for free that can help you, right?
Right. That's yes. And thank you for sharing that too, so that our listeners can know where to find your information and your books that you've written. And well, Christiana, we have come to the end of our interview. It's been wonderful. I'm so excited to be able to be with you during our conference on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of June. And I can't wait for all of our listeners and viewers to be able to hear you then. And I can't wait. It's, this is going to be my third time being with you during this event. So I'm excited. I
Yeah.
feel that third time's the charm. So it's going to be really wonderful. And is there anything that you wanna say, that you wanna maybe a message that you wanna leave us with?
Yes, peace is the most important right now, and the main thing that we're hoping in the world, right? The peace is the result of a lighter state, is a result of a inner state of love and compassion. And by treating the other beings on the planet with love and compassion, and with this, I'm referring to the other species that we consider inferior, but they're actually quite superior in terms of intuition and connection to the human race. This is how I'm seeing things. By treating the other beings with compassion and kindness and allowance, so allowing them to be in their rightful living way of experimenting the planet alongside with us without eating them or using them, that would be the first step to real human evolution. So
Mhm.
by moving into that state of awareness and compassion, which starts with our diet and starts with not eating other beings, we really get a chance at having peace on this planet. And it's really important now to have that.
Yes, I agree with you. I think that you really touch, a very important subject there, which is true that we do need to honor all our companions, that are with us on this earth, and really take them into account, because I do agree. I think that they are superior in many ways, in the fact that they are only here to offer us love and support and unity, and it's almost like we just need to observe nature to really know what we are supposed to be doing as a
Yeah,
humanity.
yes.
So
And if you're having any doubts on them being superior, I'm going to give an example, which I always give. You don't know when your partner is going to come home. Unless you're a good telepath, you have no idea. Your dogs sits by the door 2 hours or half an hour before you're arriving. That's why he's superior to most of us, right? So
yeah.
that's my first argument. And in that same note, the same way they know when they're going to get killed. So
Hmm.
try to remember that before putting any animals on your plate.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
name of peace and light, I'm saying this.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Christiana. It's been wonderful. And thank you, everybody, for being there connected. And we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day,
Absolutely.
everyone. Bye, Christiana. Thank you so much. And bye, everyone. See you next
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. See you next time, whenever that is. Blessings to all. See you soon. Thanks,
Blessings
guys.
to all. Goodbye.
Bye.